Hi everybody, this is Judy Tuttle here from Tuttle Up Stamping. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Lincoln, Nebraska, and I'm happy to be here with you tonight. It's a different night than what I'm usually here, but Monday turned out to be kind of a crazy day for me. I had some scheduling conflicts because of a goof I made about spring break. So, have any of you ever planned a trip and then realized it wasn't really spring break that the trip was on? So, I made flight arrangements to go on spring break to see my daughter and granddaughter and son-in-law and grandson in Texas, and I was supposed to leave Sunday. Well, I went to make an appointment on my school calendar and it said, you can't make that appointment because it's spring break. And I'm like, no, spring break's the week before. And then I realized I was a week off on my spring break. Somebody may have needed some time to go to Texas. I don't know. So anyway, I had to cancel those flights and rearrange some things, and everything got messed up on my calendar. So what I'm trying to say is thank you for coming tonight, because usually I'm here on Monday nights, but tonight I'm here tonight. So, and I won't be here next Monday because I will be in Texas for the real spring break. So, I won't be here next Monday, but there'll be some things on this page that you can be looking to see. Jean, it looks like you made it home from Ohio. I'm glad to see you here tonight. Okay, so I want to show you some cards that I've made recently. You know, last Sunday I had bingo night and I used the artistically composed suite. And I want to show you the 4 cards that I made for bingo night. We had such a great time. I had 12 people come. Not my biggest, but we had so much fun. 7 of those 12 were from out in the world out there, not right here with me. I had 5 come here with me, so that was fun. So I want to show you the cards that I made. Here's one of them. Happiest birthday. I really like the crisp white. Has a little bit of that white frayed ribbon at the bottom. Those sea glass stone embellishments on there. So everybody got, hi Sue, I just started. Everybody got the sea glass embellishments and a roll of the evening evergreen ribbon and just a piece of this. So that was our first card. I really love it. I think it's very pretty. Here, I don't remember what order, but it doesn't matter. Here's another card we made, sending all the hugs, and they got a roll of this evening evergreen ribbon. You can see that those sea glass shapes are on there. I used the macrame embossing folder, and then just put a little strip of that colored paper, DSP paper. It's so pretty. This was the third one. Hey there. And then this was the fourth one. This one was the most popular, which kind of surprised me, but everybody loved the green on this. So that's super fun. So that was last Sunday. Next week on March the 19th, I believe it is. Is that a Saturday? Let me double check that on my calendar here. March the 19th is a Saturday. I am having a birthday card class using the Waves of the Ocean suite. So we've been working on making these cards using that suite. It has some fun wave designs. So that class on March the 19th can either be to go or in person. Here's another one. Isn't that pretty? I like the shiny rhinestones on that. And then here's another one using that suite. So you'll make 4 cards and 4 envelopes. You can take it to go or you can come in person. They will all be birthday inspired. And what I love about the Wave of the Ocean suite is that these cards can be male or female, which is fun. Sometimes it's hard to make male cards. I know. I personally am very attracted to flowers and more girly things. But the nice thing about, like, totally, this could be a mail card, right? As can this. Well, all of these can. I think this is kind of, can go either way, right? So if you're always looking for mail cards like I am, this Wave of the Ocean birthday card class might be something that you would like to come to. So that's all I'm going to talk about tonight as far as classes. I want to get going on stamping with you tonight. So thanks for coming. I see some names here I haven't seen before. So if you're new to watching me, in the comments, tell me where you're from and maybe how you found me, and so that I can get to know you a little bit better. All right. So Brenda Quintana has a Facebook page that's called Casing Tuesday Sketches. She takes a picture from the mini catalog, draws up a sketch for it, and then challenges people to make their own card using the sketch. So this is the sketch. It has a card base that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Another layer 4 1/4 by 5. Another layer 3 1/2 by 3 1/2. Another layer 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. It has a band across it that is 4 1/4 by 1 1/2. So I want to show you what I've decided to do with the sketch. So give me just a second here to flip everything over. And this always gets tricky, doesn't it? I also need to flip it like that. There we go. So hopefully now you can see my hands and where I will be stamping with you guys right here. Okay, so I wanted to use the tulip paper. The tulip paper is beautiful. And I've had my eye on this piece that has the purples in it. I don't know if there's something on that, but it's not going to matter because I'm going to cover it up. It almost feels like a piece of a dimensional or something, but anyway. And then the back side are these just really pretty, kind of whitewashed, but in this case, purple washed hues, right? So we're going to use this paper. The band, so this is the paper that is the 4 1/4 by 5. Now, I couldn't decide, and you guys are going to help me along the way tonight, okay? I couldn't decide if I wanted to use Blackberry Bliss as my base or Rich Razzleberry. Now, according to the designer series paper, it should be Rich Razzleberry, which is this one. So I'll put it on both, and you tell me which one you like the best. So this is the Rich Razzleberry, and then this is the Blackberry Bliss. Which one do you like the best? Rich Razzleberry or Blackberry Bliss? Okay. Then, while you're thinking about that, we can do, and I'm telling you, I'm going to make a tulip card. So, you might be thinking about that as well. And then they said that the two greens that were in it are Soft Succulent or Evening Evergreen. I think there's also maybe some Old Olive in there too. So Becky says Blackberry Bliss, which is this one right here. Anybody else have an opinion? Okay, we're going to go with Becky's. Early bird. Sue changed it up on me. She says the Razzleberry. Well, I'm going to go with the Blackberry Bliss because that's what Becky said first. So here we go. I've got a 4 1/4 by 11 piece of Blackberry Bliss, and I have scored it at 5 1/2 right there. And then I'm going to add this piece of the Tulip Designer Series paper to the front right there. So I'm going to grab my stamp and seal. I usually use Seal Plus, but this one was right here next to me, so that's the one I'm grabbing. Okay. It'll both be pretty. You know what? That is one of the greatest things about Stampin' Up, right? Is that you can read the package and they tell you what colors coordinate, and you can't go wrong because they all look beautiful. So that looks beautiful, right? Now we need to decide, do we want the soft succulent or do we want the evening evergreen? What do you guys think? Soft succulent or evening evergreen? Now I'm going to tell you that I'm going to put some tulips on here that have soft succulent stems. So I don't know. We'll have to decide. Let's see. That's what it would look like on the evening evergreen. And then this band here is going to go across the bottom. So it might look like that. Or, Becky says, Sue, you can choose this one. So, or we can do it like that. What do you think? Soft succulent in the background or evening evergreen? Sue, it's your call on this one, or anybody else can chime in. This is a group effort, so as we're waiting for that, I want to show you these tulips. So when you get the Tulip Dies, you get all these little pieces, and they can be kind of intimidating, right? There's some that have these weird kind of folds on them. So you said the first one, so I don't know, is the first one this one? Is it with the soft succulent, or is the first one this one, which is the evening evergreen? So are you saying the evening evergreen or the soft succulent? I think you're saying the evening evergreen. Which is that one right there? Is that the one you like? Evening. You know what? Hi, Mary Ann. You know what? The good problem with Stampin' Up is it doesn't really matter because they're all going to look beautiful together. So, okay, looks like we're going with the evening evergreen. Thanks for joining us. Okay, so I ran this 3.5 by 3.5 piece of cardstock through the macrame embossing folder right here. And it love the texture on this. So I'm going to put that right there in the middle. And I think I'm just going to put it on flat because the tulips and everything are going to end up being popped up. Okay. So let's put that right there. Okay. Now, I chose, instead of a square, they have kind of a square design for the next layer, right? I wanted a little design. So I'm going to use this is the largest of the Happy Hippo dies, that label, which I love so much. And that is going to go right there. And then this band is going to kind of come across the bottom there. Isn't that going to be pretty? I love that. Okay, so let's talk about these tulips. So these tulips, you have all these pieces, and it can be kind of overwhelming, but these little teeny pieces here, you get 3 of them, are for the little pokey thing that pokes out from the inside. I don't know how to say that any other way. This is another layer that you can put inside, and then these fold up to kind of give you a 3D look. So let me show you. We have this one here. We have this one that looks like this. And then we have a smaller one that looks like this, okay? So I cut all of these out of Highland Heather, and then I cut a couple of these pieces that can go inside in Highland Heather as well. And then I cut a whole bunch of these little sprigs, and these are in fresh freesia. And all of these are colors that are in this paper. So we can't go wrong. It's all going to match, all right? So I'm going to start with this biggest one right here. And all you have to do is there's little score lines on it. You just fold them in like that, okay? But for this case, before I fold it in, I'm going to put one of these pieces right on the inside right there. So I'm just going to put a little glue right here at the bottom. Just wait, you're gonna be wowed. And then this piece, I'm just gonna tuck right in there like that. So I need to add a little glue to the back of it. And this makes some really cool 3D tulips. Okay. And then this piece, isn't that pretty? Aren't those colors lovely? I'm going to push that in just a little bit more there. All right, so I'm just going to take a glue dot and just kind of hold this all down. Glue dot on that little tip right there. It's not wanting to pick it up because it's Facebook Live, right? Okay, right there. And then I'm going to put just a little glue right there. Maybe I won't use a glue dot. Maybe I'll use just some liquid glue. There we go. So there's one of my tulips, and that's not going to want to hold, but I'm going to just hold it until it does. Okay, there's one of them. And then here's another. And I'm just going to use one of these fellas, one of these fresh freesias, and just stick it in there like that. Okay, so here's the inside. Now I've seen people make these out of 2 and 3 different colors. I've seen them just sponge it. I've seen them make them out of vellum, which is, by the way, gorgeous. And you can just let your imagination go wild. So there's that one. And then we have one that almost looks like a tulip that hasn't budded out yet. So just a tulip bud. I love tulips. My friend Becky, who's watching, gave me tulips for my birthday that were so pretty. I love them. And I don't care what color they are. They're always beautiful, right? Okay. I might have just done that upside down. Let's try it the other way. Let's pull this off, flip it over. I don't know, it's hard to tell. Oh, there we go. So there are my tulips. So I'm going to put all these extra pieces away. Now I cut some of the leaves and the stems here out of soft succulent. So I'm just going to add, since I have 3 tulips, just going to add some stems willy-nilly. Now, you know, nature knows no pattern, right? So we're just going to add some stems here on this piece, this white label, and I'm just going to have them going different directions, and then maybe one of these long skinny ones in here. You see a little bit at the tip right there of glue. I'm going to cut these edges off here at the bottom. Going to be covered up with the label anyway, so it's not really going to make that much of a difference. And then I'm going to set my tulips on where I want them. And it's okay, I think I'm going to use a dimensional on this. It's okay if they overlap, because when you're looking at flowers in the garden, right, they overlap. So I'm going to put a dimensional here, and then I'm going to add my leaves at the very end. Aren't these fun? Ah, I love tulips. And this one with the little bud is going to go right inside. And I think I'm going to do it flat, actually. There we go. Okay, and now I'm going to tuck in some leaves wherever I want them. What are you guys thinking? I'm liking how this is coming together. Are you? Then maybe one more and a larger one going that way. There we go. Now, so pretty. Okay, so now I think I'm going to pop this up again in the center of this square with some dimensionals. So we thought spring was almost here because it's been so warm lately, but guess what? It's snowing tonight. So it wasn't quite done with winter yet. Sue, I think you kind of get the weather. Sue's in Ohio, and I think she tends to get the weather that we have like a day or so afterwards. Make sure I've got this centered the way I want it. Yeah, there we go. Very pretty. Okay, so now I have this piece that is going to go right across the front right here. It's going to go flat in the center, but I'm going to put some dimensionals on along the bottom edge here to kind of keep it popped up off of those tulips. So let's do that. And I feel like that it's going to need, let's go ahead and put these dimensionals on the bottom, and then I'll finish what I was going to say. Somebody told me the other day, you know, you start stories on your Facebook Live and you don't finish them. It's because I start stories and then I start talking about stamping and then I get all distracted. Okay, so what I want to do here is I want to take some white crinkle ribbon and I want to wrap it around this panel before I put it on. I love the white crinkle ribbon because it's easy to work with, makes really pretty bows, and I say it's easy to work. It would have been easier to work with if I hadn't put those dimensionals on when I, okay, it's going to work out fine. So I'm just going to wrap that around a couple of times here. Going to add some glue to this top edge right here, right in the center. Then I'm just going to flip it over on top of itself right there. There we go. Now I can pull this and tie it in a little bow over here on this side. So we were hoping, my friend Becky, who's watching, and I were hoping for a snow day today, but we're not sure it's going to happen now. I don't think we're going to get quite as much snow as they originally forecasted. It's going to kind of peter out on us, and that's okay. So I have tomorrow off anyway, a work from home or school day, because it is the state basketball tournament, and some of the smaller cities go to the high schools to play their basketball games. So our high school is being used tomorrow. So pretty. Now, I have a label I want to add. I think we need a sentiment on the front, don't you? So I cut one of these labels from the In Good Taste dies. And I'm going to stamp a sentiment. And I decided I want to stamp the words, love you so much. I really like the font on this. Becky's still cautiously optimistic, she says. So, good. It might happen, you know. We've been wrong before, haven't we? Okay, so I've got love you. Oh, that didn't stamp very good. Well, guess what? Lucky for me, I cut an extra one. And I forgot that because I'm using photopolymer stamp, I probably need to use this foam mat underneath it. It just gives a little cushion to photopolymer stamps that aren't usually there. So here we go. And let's do this again. You know what? I am using rich raspberry, and it doesn't matter that much, but since I use the Blackberry Bliss paper as my cardstock, I think I'm going to grab, or do I already have it grabbed out? The Blackberry Bliss ink pad. Okay, not seeing it, so I probably have it in one of my bins for my class. I'm doing a tulip class this weekend for my oh yay, Becky. So 6 o'clock news made it sound like we might still be in luck, huh? There we go. See how that foam mat just makes it, this is what it looked like without the foam mat, and this is what it looks like with foam mat. It's so much better. Okay, so now I'm going to attach this right here over. Isn't that so I'm loving this. I hope you guys love this. It's always fun when what I have in my head turns out to be what pops on the card. So there we go. I'm just going to use liquid glue on that and just hold that down for a second right there. And then I have a piece of white for the inside. Oh, before I finish on the outside, I want to add some of these iridescent gems, and I'm just going to scatter them around here. Some up here on the tulips, some just on the paper. One down here on the label. Maybe one more. Maybe right there. All right. Now for the inside, I just have some basic white, and I cut some more strips of that purple paper, but I cut it a little bit thinner. Now on the inside, we can do this, or we can do this, or we can do that. Which way do you guys like? I don't know. I think I'm kind of liking it that way. Do you like it vertical like that? We could do vertical like that, or we could do horizontal like this. Doesn't really matter. It just adds a little something fun to the inside of the card, and I always like to do this. Add a little something to the inside. Our snow is coming Friday night, and Saturday just one day. Oh, good. So that, see, I think you guys get it like the day after it's here. So I think I'm going to go with, actually, I'm really liking it going that direction. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to add. Doesn't sound like any of you have strong opinions on that one. So, well, too late, Becky. I just put glue on the solid side, so it's going to be the flowered side here. There we go, and now I'm going to add it right there. Isn't that pretty? I love that. Okay. And you know what? Here, like I said, Marianne, that this is, no one's going to be comparing your beautiful card to anybody else's beautiful card. It's your creation. And I learned a long time ago that sometimes the cards that I'm not the craziest about are the ones that I feel like people love the most. So you never know. There we go. So there is my card for the night. How did you guys think I did on the sketch challenge? So here was the sketch challenge, and here is my card. I think I'm liking it. I think it's very pretty. Things you can do with the sketch challenge, right? So, okay, I'm gonna flip my camera up. I just want to point out here my information. For those of you who are looking for a demonstrator, I would love to be your demonstrator. You can shop by going to TuttleUpShop.com. That'll take you right to my Stampin' Up shopping page. You can email me with questions or comments at judyltuttle@gmail.com. And this month's hostess code is written right here for you, W4Y4SWNX. All right, I'm going to move the camera up, flip everything back around again so I can say my goodbyes. Thank you so much for coming to watch me on a night that I'm not usually here. Sorry, let me get my camera. There we go. And I so appreciate all of you. I'm always humbled that you come, and thanks so much. And I hope you loved my card. If you would like to learn more about my classes and my to-go classes and my online classes, shoot me an email at judyltuttle@gmail.com, and I can get you added to my newsletter that goes out every week and my invitations to my upcoming classes. So God bless everyone. I hope you have a great week. I'll miss you next week, but I'm so going to enjoy snuggling with my grandkids. So have a great week. Stay warm, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye. I don't know how to turn this off. There we go. Bye-bye. See ya.